Hey everybody, DJ Paulie here for the Internet Wedding Channel, and today we're talking to Kimberly from Specialty Transportation. And Kimberly, thank you for meeting with us. We wanted to help brides on their transportation needs, and I appreciate you taking the time out to talk to us about this. Now Kimberly, you have all these various buses here, and I want to know, of course our brides will want to know, what's to separate you from the other companies that have the bus? I know, like, this is the beautiful party bus, in which you're going to see momentarily. But this party bus, I know, is brand spanking new, and you go in there, it's got that new smell, new car or new bus smell to it. I love that smell. I'd love to have that for air freshener and stuff like that. But what can you tell us else that separates you from the competition?
I just feel that, in working with other competition, that the personal touch that you receive from us, from our staff, from when you're, receiving your quote to on the actual day of the transportation, we just pride ourselves in our professionalism and just detail oriented. One of the things that from the very first phone call is that we try and get as many details as possible to help make this, a lot of brides when they're calling in, they're just, it's all new to them and they're unfamiliar in how to have the setup, and we just try and walk them through as best as possible. And like I said, we will work with staff at the hotels for their guests, and as well as staff at their venue to make sure that all their timing and all their needs are met.
Yep. And it was very interesting because you came up with a point a little while ago. We were doing our sound check and stuff, and it was something I never would have thought of. You said that you coordinate with the hotel or the venue to make sure that you could drop the guest off at a certain time. And that's something I wouldn't even have thought of. I was just thinking, okay, we're going to get going.
Because you can have guests staying at a hotel and they may have 3 or 4 sets of wedding guests staying there. So you want to make sure you have the correct pickup location at the hotel. You want to make sure that your bus can fit through if there's an overhang. You want to make sure at the venue that you're not dropping the guests off too early on an 80-degree day and they have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of details, that go along with the planning, as well as the timing.
And I know that you were talking also, and you were saying that you have, you can help, say, if you have a wheelchair or something you can pick up, and you have a special bus.
Right, we do have a handicap accessible.
And that's important.
Yes,
we've
so used that a few.
They could come in, you pick them up at the airport or something if they wanted that, and stuff on transportation. Now, inside the bus, and which we are going to, I want to get inside that bus, we are going to see a few unique features in there. And of course, you got the radio, special, you got televisions everywhere. There's not a bad seat in the house out there. You got your lighting, and you can set the mood. You can have a nice relaxing, just beautiful relaxing. Then you got the pumped up, I see the flash pulsing lights and on there. And you got the separation too. I've never seen that before, separation from the driver.
Right, that just offers your group a little bit more privacy. We do have the pass-through, so the driver, we can have it open if you prefer, or it can be closed off, and then, your group is kind of secluded. One of the features from this bus, as opposed to one of our 24 or 44s, is the seating style. So in the 24 passenger and the 44 passenger, it's all forward seating, which is great, if you're taking your wedding guests to and from. But as far as the party bus, what's unique about this is the seating goes around. So everybody, you're able to just all be in a group and all be looking at each other and having a great time.
And that's good, because a lot of times you're at the venue and you're kind of like at one table unless you go around.
Right.
But here you can see everybody. This is like a giant, place, and you could be talking, hey, how was your trip? Haven't seen you for a long time, and everything. I'm very excited, and I know a lot of our future brides out there are going to be excited. They're going to want to get some more information. Now, as far as bookings, okay, let's talk about bookings, brides. Now, listen closely to this. When it comes to bookings, how far out should they be calling you to reserve it? Because you have one party bus and you have the other buses. But how far out?
They should really be looking a year in advance, or as soon as they set their date, calling as soon as possible.
So the sooner the better, because especially hot times of the year, I suppose the May, the June, the fall,
the busy wedding
certain
months.
times are going to be crazy. So don't say, oh yeah, I'll call. No, they won't be available. And when they call, they give you a deposit, of course, right?
They would give us the details from the wedding. We'd walk through them, making sure the times were correct, and we would send them a quote. Generally, when we send a quote, you have up to 10 days to respond back, because we do receive so many inquiries that after that 10 days, if you haven't responded back, then the quote would be canceled.
Now, of course, if someone was to book something, say, next fall or something, you give them a quote. Even if your prices go up, you're going to hold it to that quote if they sign the contract.
Right, if they sign
and
the contract
give you
based
a
on the quote that they
deposit.
receive, yes.
So, in other words, not only are they going to have peace of mind that they're going to have the reservation, they're going to have the bus, but it possibly could be cheaper even.
Right,
So,
definitely.
so it does pay to plan ahead and not be last minute, so you don't be disappointed.
And we generally like to, when we speak with the brides the week before the wedding, we like to get a contact person
Mhm.
that is not the bride or the groom, whether it be somebody in the bridal party or a parent.
Yeah.
They give us their contact person's number, we give them the driver's number. So even on the weekends,
Oh.
I'm speaking sometimes with the bride's,
Yeah.
bridal party or the parents, and we're having constant contact with the driver, coordinating pickups, even
Because-
on the day of.
I can see what's separating you too is the extra, mile that you go, contacting venues, the hotels and in constant contact, with the guest and everything like that. It's amazing that you do that.
And we pride
A lot of times
ourselves
say,
on
yeah, a lot of times you say, okay, here we are, that's it. We'll pick you up in 5 hours or whatever like that. But you said the bus is actually there for it.
Right. I mean, with other companies, when you call that number on a weekend,
Yeah.
you're getting somebody sitting at a desk in a location. When you call a number on the weekend, you're either getting myself,
Yeah.
wherever I am, or the driver who's
So you
with
know
the
what's
bus.
going on.
Yes.
It's not going to be, well, I don't know. They could be stuck in traffic. No, they're right there at the venue. That's amazing.
Right. And we have
Well,
GPS on the buses, so I'm able
Oh,
to,
wow.
even from home,
Yeah.
be able to pull up to make sure a driver's where they need to be on time.
Modern technology. Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
No, I tell you. Well, Kimberly, it was wonderful, and I learned a lot. I thought I learned a lot from, or I knew a lot, but you always learn something new. And I'm sure our brides out there learned an awful lot. Again, I'd like to have our contact information for our future brides so they could get a hold of you. What's the best way to get a hold of you?
Best way would be our website, specialtybusco.com,
Yeah.
or the phone number here is 860-470-7200.
Okay, and thank you. And you said that you could submit a quote
Right online, yes.
Again, modern technology. Well, Kimberly, thank you so
you.
much. Folks, our guest has been Kimberly from Specialty Transportation, and you're into the Internet Wedding Channel.